Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You've hit the spot. The place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Put your thinking caps on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. This is your spot. This is your favorite place where the conversations are pointed and the guests are sharp. There she is, all the way from the UK, and the responses are never dull. We have Chloe Richards, all the way from the UK. We're going to talk about one of these big $25 words called communication. And that's what I was telling her. People don't communicate. They try to dictate, tell you what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Not good listening. And if they do have a point of view, they're very aggressive and combative, or they don't know how to explain it. And that is a problem. Women in STEM, we're going to talk about that too, because that's all the rage. And we really want to encourage the next generation of young women to take the leap forward and really become taskmasters when it comes to STEM. Okay, so let's welcome her to the show. How are you, Chloe Richards?
I am brilliant, and thank you so much to you and to all your brains for having me on. It's great to be here, all the way from the UK.
Can you sing?
Can I? No. I wish I could.
Because you got that sultry, sexy, deep kind of voice. Oh, yes, honey, you could give him a run for the money.
You haven't heard me, April. It's shocking, is what it is.
Well, I think too that because you're an orator and a communicator, I think that it bellows from, because you have to speak from your core, not just the superficial stuff, not just from your throat or just from your frontal lobe, but you got to go deep with the conversation. So I get it. I totally get it. So tell us a little bit about you, Chloe, and how you show up in the world, Queen.
So I'm here in the UK, in the northwest of the country, and I've been working in communications for 25 plus years. I live with my family, and crazy cats, crazy dogs, too many pets and stuff. So I've worked in big engineering companies, big STEM organizations, big science, but always in communications and marketing, that side of things. And then in 2018, I started working for myself as a consultant, and then had a breast cancer scare, basically.
What?
Not a scare.
You had a frightening?
Well, I ended up, after 7 operations, ended up with had to have a mastectomy that was rebuilt out of my stomach. So that sent me off track a little bit, shall we say.
Well, that would uproot anybody.
Yeah.
It took them 7 surgeries to kind of figure out what it was that you need. Because I guess every time they went in, it wasn't as severe. Did it keep coming back, or?
So every time they went in, they had to get a clear margin from what they'd taken out, right. And they just weren't getting it. So that's why it ended up. And then incredible surgeons and plastic surgeons and cancer surgeons operated on me. In the end, the sort of my last big one. So that whole experience, I'm really open about it, and I love to talk about it as well, but that really focused my attention on what I needed to do in the world to help women, and started thinking about that.
Right. You know what? And I'm so glad that you are here and well, and you have a testimony.
Thank you.
Because there's so many advancements in
incredible
in that. And it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, because you have socialized medicine, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can see a doctor.
Here, yeah, and
not that lucky all the time.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I saw the doctor who initially recommended me to go and see an expert, and I went back to her a few months later and I said, you saved my life. If you hadn't sent me, then it wouldn't have come up, and she was really humble and sort of said, oh, just my job, but it's incredible what she did.
It is incredible what they do, and they don't get enough credit. But I want to give you credit. I want to give you credit for being able to realize that, it was time to make a transition. Explain
Yeah.
to people what that acronym STEM stands for.
So STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and maths. So they are organizations that deliver those on behalf of companies. So anything from laboratories to big engineering projects, you name it, in the world of engineering and science and tech organizations as well. Anything and everything within that field, but it tends to be very male dominated.
Oh, sure.
And lovely, this is not being critical of
It's
men
not
in
lovely,
any
and
way.
I'll be critical because women are smart. They are really
Yeah,
smart. And
yeah,
mathematics is the key. And what I'd like for you young women that are listening to this to understand is that math, in my opinion, is just a language. It is
it
just
is.
a language, and it's a puzzle.
Yeah,
Learning how to put the key components together and learning what this new vocabulary is. It's not
uh,
a whole bunch of, intricate work that you need a injection for.
no, and it's not scary. It's not scary, and it can be fun, and it just informs the whole world. Maths is cool. I used to be terrified of maths, but now I love it.
Now it's your friend. Well, you know what? You know what's on my life list? I'm going to tell it. Probably, I hope one of my brains steals my idea. But to really go into an adverse country and teach
Yeah.
young women how to install solar panels. Could you imagine somewhere like India or
Wow.
Africa that does load sharing?
That would
Could you
just be
imagine
amazing.
to go in there and they could harness the natural resources of the sun?
Just incredible.
And the
It'd be game
engineering and the
changing.
science, it would be, phenomenal. But
Yeah,
the reason why
absolutely.
I don't do it is because I'm concerned with corruption. Because some government going and take my little bit of money that I've invested, and I
Yeah,
will be ugly. Okay, I will be
yeah,
ugly. But if we could harness our resources together as women to teach them that and encourage that, that is really, really important. But also to be able to verbalize what they want.
yeah,
So many women are suppressed, be it in
yeah.
a westernized environment or a adverse situation, sometimes in
Hmm.
their own home. It is about communication. And communication is not just jaw jacking brains and running your mouth. You have to be clear. You've got to know what to say, when to hold, and when to fold. Tell us a little bit about the program that you teach and work with women with regards to communication.
So what I help women do is to get really clear on what they want to be and help them recognize why it's important. So communication is a process when you're working with businesses, and what I discovered, and it started out as a theory, was that actually you can apply the same to individuals or group programs, and you take people through a process. And because these women in these industries think in a quite a process driven way, it's really helpful for them to think about it. So the women that I've researched this with have sort of said, well, why does anybody want to know about me? And because I'm sort of their biggest fan, if you like, and I'm like, but you've done all these amazing things. So it's getting them to recognize, firstly, why they need to be promoting themselves. And um, it's not just about telling the world how great they are or moving up the corporate ladder. It's about providing role models for the younger generation so that they can see what's possible. So we talk about where they want to go, how they want to talk about themselves, because you promote yourself differently to I promote yourself, and if I tried to copy you, people would be hysterical, wouldn't they? They'd laugh at me because it just wouldn't feel right.
Because I am like some of these big mouth promoters in the United States, and I go all in. But let me tell you something, and this is something that I truly, truly believe: you cannot dumb it down. Nobody can market, promote, and sell you like you. Nobody knows.
Absolutely agree.
You look at some of the greatest promoters in the world, be dictators, be world leaders, be celebrities. I mean, example, Muhammad Ali. He was one of my mentors as a child. I met him a few times.
Wow.
And he would say, am I pretty? And I was like, yes. He says, am I the greatest of all time? He says, yes. Am I the greatest boxer? Yes. He reiterated, he made you believe. I don't like our president number 45, but I can tell you that he makes you believe.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, you have to reinforce, and you have to be your own advocate with that. You have to have 100%. A message. You have to stay on point. You have to have good diction, like writing, and not be afraid. You know, you're going to get in front of some audiences that are not going to receive you very well. That's a learning opportunity. You can't, you know, like you said, you have to know where you want to go. What is the end game?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for these women in particular, understanding where they want to go is really important, but also understanding the sorts of words and phrases that they're comfortable with. So, and then, you know, the real power is in, I make them stand up and say it out loud in a safe environment. So they're practicing how to do it, and that sticks in your head. There's a phrase that I've now forgotten, so I'm sorry, but it's about how you practice and implement, and that makes your brain remember it. So when you're in a situation that you're under pressure, you will be able to remember those words. You'll be able to say what you want to say because you've stood up and said it out loud and written it down and practiced it loads of times.
Makes perfect. You know,
absolutely.
I've been an orator for years. I studied with Toastmasters. Toastmasters is great. If there's a Toastmasters International, wherever you are in the world, it's a free nonprofit organization that teaches you how to be a public speaker. Everything from comedy to drama to parliamentary procedure, how to give a complete speech, you know, how to introduce a subject, how to teach the subject, but then recap. And feel confident. Remove the filler words, the ums, the ahs, the you knows, the likes. All these kids, when they talk and every other word is like, it makes my skin crawl. Like what? What in the world are you liking?
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
They're not challenged anymore to do anything, to read, to write anything. They just press a button, and then they think that that button is going to solve all the problems, but it's not going to solve all the world problems. So now you have this great person that is doing really great behind the scenes, and she's ready to step out there and do her first presentation in front of the board. What kind of advice would you give her?
I would say you deserve to be there. You are absolutely recognized that you deserve to be there. And that would always be my starting point. Then I would say practice, absolutely practice, and hone down those words. So you know, write the whole thing out, the whole long shebang that you want to say, and then edit it and edit it and edit it, because you've got a short window of time to impress those people. So you need to take advantage of it and be really clear and concise and absolutely 100% get your message right and understand what that is before you even think about walking through the door.
Exactly. And process the good as well as the bad at the conclusion of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because that is your, you know, that's your tipping point, your turning point. You don't have to rush through a presentation. Pause.
No.
Give them an opportunity to respond. Give them an opportunity to let it sink in. Hit the high notes. Be funny.
Yeah,
Sitting there looking all stone faced and mean and grumpy. Nobody wants to buy or work with someone that has no personality.
absolutely. And they're people at the end of the day. They might be, you might be nervous around them because of their position, but actually they're people who want you there. You wouldn't be in the room if you weren't wanted there. So just claim that space. And, like you say, just own it, be funny, be
Right.
relaxed. And
Ask
that
for
will be
what you're
more
worth.
engaging. Ask
Make
for what you're worth.
exactly make the call to action. Okay.
Yeah,
Really. And give people action items so that you know that you're going to get a response and you hold them accountable. Don't just leave
yeah,
it out there. I work with women all the time. They want to do a certain thing or they want to do this, but they're hemming and they're hawing and they're second guessing themselves. Nobody has time for that. People's time
no,
is valuable. You will get more money, but you
yeah,
will not get more time. Because I know once you kind of, bite me in the bottom, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I may not go back. And that's not because
yeah,
you're a bad person, but that you did not value and exercise and execute the time that we had together. And that's very
absolutely.
important. So now, what would you tell a 25-year-old Chloe Richards about STEM and speaking?
Oh, I would say that do not overthink what you're doing. Be really clear and listen and absorb everything you can. So communication is, all the things you've said is really powerful, but actually a huge part of it is listening to people, not, you might have heard this before, but if you're constantly thinking about what you want to say next, you're not listening to what the other person has to say. And when you're 25 and you're starting out in your career, be a sponge, soak up all that information, because it's there for you to take. Be really, really ask questions. If something, one major thing that I would say, just thinking about it, is when you want to ask a question about something, never ever be embarrassed about it. Because when you're young, you worry, don't you? You think, oh, I can't ask that because it'll make me look stupid. There is just no such thing. Just ask the question because that will help you.
It will help you, but also it will challenge you. And that's
Yeah,
what you want to be. You want to be challenged, whether you think you do or not. That is how
yeah,
you grow. That is how you develop. Being a good listener, you can overtalk yourself out of $1 million.
yeah. You really
No,
could.
really, or overthink it.
Yeah,
Or when you have a opportunity to speak, nobody knows what you're going to say until it comes out of your mouth.
absolutely. No.
So slow down and watch how people communicate. When I'm doing certain things, I watch politricians. That's what I call politics.
That's
Politricians,
brilliant.
because they stay on these talking points. I don't care what happens. They have 3 or 4 talking points and they stay on them. But that keeps people focused. That keeps them in line with where you want to direct and control the conversation. Because when you do start to talk, you do want to be the one that controls the conversation. You do
Yeah.
want them to pay attention to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So never be afraid. You know, you have to walk that thin line.
Yeah, and if you want to talk, you have to know what you want to say. And if you don't know what you want to say, yeah, it's fine to rearrange or just be honest, and people will respect that. Don't bluff, don't pretend, just be yourself because that's the only person you can be, and that's the authentic person.
And use this technique with your family, with your friends, with your children, especially. Speak clearly. Don't beat
Yes.
around the bush. And I'm talking to you women. We speak a different love language than men. You go by a
Yeah.
man's actions. A woman is going to bleed out and tell you everything and then some about what she wants to do. But
Yeah.
use it as a strategy. Do I really want to
Absolutely.
say this? It's like a bullet. Once it's fired,
Mm.
you can't get it back.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely fine.
So you want to be careful about the words that you use.
Yeah.
Speaking with vitriol and vulgarity. Oh, there's some women there that their mouths, I don't know how they even kiss their mother with that thing. It's
You're
just
right.
the F bomb. They just love it. Well, I'm telling you, it's not attractive. It is
No,
not attractive at all. My mother said, you use those words when you're going to war. And the truly articulate and intelligent individual doesn't need to have filth spilling out of their mouth.
no, I agree 100%. It just detracts and it makes what you're saying, not worthy and not worthy, not it's not respectful to yourself if you do things like that.
And you're not one of the boys. I
No,
don't want to be one of the
absolutely
boys.
not.
I want to be
No.
the lady in the room. I
Yeah.
want them to be the one that they have to change their vernacular when they come around me because I
Mm-hmm.
don't tolerate that. It
Yeah.
doesn't make you smart. It really
It,
doesn't. I
it
got a
really
great
doesn't.
podcast. I think I'm gonna run that today about a
Yeah.
pot. Oh, well, I tell you, yeah, I've got some few choice words that I like to use too. But you better believe that I use them in the right context. So let's ask you some fun questions before we can continue. If you were an animal, Chloe Richards, what animal would you be and why?
So I would be a wolf.
Really?
Yeah, because they're quite secretive but powerful animals, and they like to keep themselves to themselves unless they come under threat, and then you see their true power. So that would be me.
But they're
Um,
also they're very communicative. They travel in packs. They
yeah,
rely on one another, and they're great parents.
and family is important, and family is important to me. So
And
yeah, that's another thing.
it's great. If you had three magical wishes, anything, what would they be?
How big can we go?
As big as your imagination will take you.
I would like to see an end to poverty and create equality and equity in the world. I would like to end warfare, suffering, and I would like women to step up and own their power and take their rightful place in the world.
They do because again, we have I shouldn't say lost, but we've shifted our seat on the throne. We
Yeah,
don't acknowledge one another like we should. I don't care if you're white, if you're black, if you're Asian, if you're Mexican. You know, we've got a lot of differences where now we've got a lot of people that are doing the transgender.
yeah,
They got a seat at the table. How do we welcome? How do
absolutely.
we understand? It's a whole different world. We've got artificial intelligence that's
Yeah,
taking over and merging its way into humanity. So we really need to be conscious of that and what we're doing.
yeah.
What planet are you from?
The one that pops into my head is Mercury, but I could not tell you why.
Really, I'm from Jupiter. I like all the rings.
Awesome.
I like all the solar systems. I like all of that. If you were an appliance in the kitchen, Chloe Richards, what appliance would you be?
The coffee maker. I would be the coffee maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Because I like to, enthuse people and get them going and give them some energy. But also I'm, something that reliable, and people need me in their life every day, I think.
Teapot. I like to
You
spout
do
off.
too. I can see
I
that.
like it hot. I like it steamy. And I like to steep. All of that. That's fun for me. That is fun for me. And in closing, Chloe, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my children to be proud of me, and I want them to understand that I want to have changed the face of the working world, so it doesn't look, at the senior level, it does not look like it looks today, that it's representative of society. So this isn't just about raising women up, it's about raising everybody up so that everybody gets a seat at the table and you're not looking at just the same old faces.
Well, the same old faces is old and wrinkly and have a mustache or a beard here in the United States, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
It's dull and boring.
Really, I want to see somebody in Congress with pink hair.
Yeah, why not? Why? Yeah.
You know, really, I want to see that, you know, some lipstick and some vivaciousness, because the world,
some glamour, you know, some color, and just not the dull.
Because love is color.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love is color.
Yeah.
And thank you for being so colorful, for being so honest and forthright, and sharing a lot about yourself and your dreams and your aspirations and what you're pouring into others in your program. Please tell my brains how to get in contact with you, to work with you, to follow you on social media.
Thank you. And thank you so much for the opportunity and for having me. And thank you to all the brains for listening to me. So my name is Chloe Richards. My business is the Career Cheerleader. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook as Chloe Richards. So you'll see me on there. Please connect. I would love people to get in touch. Or email me, chloe@thecareercheerleader.com. And yeah, I have programs starting on a regular basis. So if you want to sign up for those, get in touch. We can have a quick chat. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you all. And thank you.
What I want you to do is I want you to go in again, take advantage of the free consultation.
Yeah.
With her, if you are an educator, be it even middle school, give these girls some inspiration. She might be able to do a webinar for you in your classroom. If you're in high school and you're trying to figure out what trajectory you want to go in, if it's communication or if it's STEM, she can speak to both. If you're in college and looking for a career, if you're a woman that's sitting there on the couch and wondering what to do next, how to speak out, how to, you know, find that confidence, how to find that joy, check in with Chloe. Go in. What does 20 or 30 minutes cost you? It could change your life. Absolutely.
It would be a privilege to do stuff like that. Absolutely. So yeah, please do.
I would love So, brains, I need you to go in and do your homework. You know what that is. Like, love, share, and subscribe. Like, love, share, and subscribe. See, I put it right there in your face. You see it right here? On the Edge with April Mahoney. Thank you so much, Chloe Richards. I want you to have an amazing day. And I'm just so glad that, you know, that my God spared you so that you could be a blessing to others.
Thank you.
My brains, have a good day.